greatest reward of all. The greatest reward of all. Perhaps some of you are wondering, what is it? David, how would you like to do something that would not only be personally rewarding, but rewarding for others as well? Casey, how would you like to create a legacy, a gift that could benefit generations to come? Irina, how would you like to reward yourself with what is perhaps the greatest feeling of pride, satisfaction, and fulfillment that you may ever know? Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, each of you has the power to create a priceless reward for yourself and others, and a long-lasting legacy by becoming what? Rhetorical question. By becoming a mentor or a mentee. By becoming a mentor, you have the ability to pass along your education, experience, and expertise. As a mentee, you in turn can pass along what you've learned to others. Real mentors are not motivated by money or fame. Real mentors understand that their lives are enriched by the pride and satisfaction they gain when the people they mentor succeed. I certainly would not be where I am today were it not for the mentors in my life. The first mentor in my life was my late mother, Ethelyn. My mother was a force of nature, like a tornado. My mother was a highly intelligent, incredibly strong-willed woman who was born in Boston, Massachusetts in 1929 during the Great Depression. She was the daughter of Caribbean African immigrants. She didn't have much when she was growing up, but she did have a big, ambitious, audacious dream. She dreamed of becoming a doctor. That was an impossible goal for a black woman growing up in the United States in the 1930s and 40s. When she realized that she could never become a doctor herself, she decided that she would live her dream through her firstborn son, who happened to be yours truly. My earliest memories are of my mother telling me how I would be a doctor one day. Of course, I wanted no part of that. Although I had an aptitude for math and science, I liked sports. I wanted to be a tennis player. She was having none of that. Bad grades in school? Unacceptable. Failure? Not an option. Ma, can I go outside and play tennis now? Not now, son. You have to study. Delayed gratification. That was her favorite phrase. I'm just curious, did anyone else's mother ever say that to them? Ma, can I go outside and play with my friends now? Not now. Delayed gratification. Ma, can I watch TV now? We didn't have the internet in those days. No, delayed gratification. Wow. Yeah, I got my butt beat. Delayed gratification, delayed gratification. When was I going to get this gratification? When was I going to get my reward? One day, she would say, Yeah, right, I would say. After this happy childhood, I went on to college, and I wasn't good enough to be a professional tennis player. I couldn't figure out what else I wanted to do, so I decided I might as well go to medical school. My mother was very happy about that. My grades were good enough to get me into Harvard Medical School. It was not until I finished medical school and began my medical internship training that I began to have serious doubts about my career choice. I wandered around the hospital thinking, what am I doing here? I've made a terrible mistake. Did I spend the last 8 years of my life doing what my mother wanted but not what was right for me? To my supervisors at the hospital, I appeared distant, distracted, and disinterested. At one point, the chief of medicine summoned me to his office and asked me point blank, "Dubin, are you sure you want to be a doctor?" He had a very nasal voice. I had reached the lowest point in my career. I almost quit. It was at that time that I met the next important mentor in my life, Dr. Wallerson. Dr. Wallerson was a cardiologist, a heart specialist at my hospital. I found him to be a highly intelligent man with a kind, considerate manner. For some reason, he took a liking to me. He introduced me to the field of cardiology, the study of heart disease. His insightful, nurturing teaching style got me fascinated and excited about being a doctor for the first time in my life. His encouragement sparked a fire of enthusiasm inside of me that gave me the motivation I was missing to excel in my medical training. Years later, I realized how, at different times and in different ways, my mother and Dr. Wallerson gave me the mentoring I needed to succeed. My mother built into me the foundation for a strong work ethic and the discipline needed to become a doctor. But that wasn't enough. Dr. Wallerson inspired and motivated me. He ignited the rocket that launched me into the marvelous career that I enjoy today. I finally have my delayed gratification. You were right, Ma. For years, I wondered why they did what they did, since they never asked for anything in return. It was not until I was a mentor myself that I felt the pride that they must have felt in seeing me succeed. How about you? How would you like to make a meaningful difference in someone's life? How would you like to be part of a mutually beneficial mentor-mentee relationship that could give your dreams strong wings so you could fly? Or live your dreams through others, as my mother's dreams are living through me, and will continue to live through my daughter, who, by the way, is presently doing cancer research at Hopkins and will be applying to medical school next year. I'm not bragging. Be a mentor, be a mentee, and you will be rewarded with the incomparable feeling of pride, satisfaction, and fulfillment that a mentor-mentee relationship can bring. Be a mentor, be a mentee, and you can have the greatest reward of all. Thank you.